from Harvesting Heritage. I can't believe it, but spring has officially arrived in Northern California, Zone 9B, Lowe's, Home Depot, my local garden center, Cottage Gardens, Harmony Garden Center. Everyone has their spring flowers in. It's still a little too early to get my haul of petunias and some of those summer annuals, but there are an incredible amount of spring happy, light frost is okay, flowers, and I got a huge haul from all of those locations. Let me show you what I got. Now, I've been bringing you along for the doing of my redwood forest, and what I have here is a whole bunch of delightful spring color plants that I've researched to make sure they are deer resistant, low to medium light, acidic soil lovers, and that means they're going to do great in my front redwood garden. Since I'm so excited about each of these flower varieties, I want to go through them one by one. It's been a struggle for me to learn and understand and find flowers, shrubs, and perennials that are going to like acidic soil, that are going to be left alone from those deer, and that are shade lovers. So let's go one by one and talk about these varieties. We'll start with the Dora, and of course I'm going to butcher every single one of these names because they're all new to me. This is a ground cover that's going to be trailing, and it grows 3 to 6 inches tall and about 12 inches wide. So I got a whole flat of these, 8 of them. That should be a beautiful front trailing border in the redwood forest. I got its sister plant, and I don't know about you, but blue flowers seem to be something that nature gives us very little of. So whenever I see something blue, I pick it up because I like those cool colors. So this again is another Lithidora, but in a different color, kind of a, I don't know, is that periwinkle light blue? And it's just so beautiful when you think about putting these colors together. Another favorite of mine in the garden is anything that has that fluffy, silvery feel and look to it. And so I have lamb's ear and I have angel's wing, but this will be the first time I have dusty miller. So I have bought enough of this dusty miller to fill in. I find that in a shady spot, this silvery color really shows up and makes a big, bold statement. In fact, my angel's wings is the #1 commented flower in my garden when I have guests come. So I'm excited to add more of that type of texture. Moving right along, I've also never had Freesia before, but as I was walking past this whole palette of buttery yellow Freesia at Lowe's, I couldn't help myself. The smell is so sweet. Kind of similar to maybe a honeysuckle if you've ever smelled that. So I got, again, an entire flat, I think 10 plants. These are perennial in zone 9B, and they will naturalize. So I expect that these Freesia will grow bigger and wider and thicker every year. Definitely worth the investment. I'm also going to put a picture up of the final blooming color of this. I think it's so pretty. They did have already blooming so I could see it, but of course I want to enjoy all the blooms for as long as I can in my own garden, so I chose ones that had not yet fully budded out. I also selected a couple of larger Freesia. Oh my gosh, that smell is, you know, I'm not even sure if it's honeysuckle. It is something that I've probably never smelled before except for in perfume, Freesia. So again, it doesn't have the variety on this at all, just Freesia, but clearly a different color look at this flower and the depth of this color. And yeah, they are deer resistant because deer tend to not like things that are strong smelled. Though I say that and they would chomp a rose, no problem. So I have 2 of those. This plant I have been seeing at all of the garden centers for maybe a month, and I love the bright pink color. I think that that's going to show up really well in the redwood forest, again, because it's so shaded over there. It's called Purple Majesty Fringe Flower, and it needs part sun, so 3 to 6 hours of morning sun, which I can absolutely give it. It's going to flower from spring to fall, so a huge shower, and it's going to grow to be 6 foot by 6 foot. And I need some large bushes to really make a statement in the space that we're planning. Sean's not as big of a fan of this one, but I think it's kind of cool. What do you think? Put in the comments what your opinion is of Purple Majesty Fringe Flower. Have you grown it? I've also picked up 8 of this Lira Trope, Muscara Big Blue. Sean found this one as I just walked away thinking it was a nothing. I love the strappy leaves on this, but you have to see the picture here of it in its full glory when it's fully grown, because it gets quite large. So it says it has a clumping growth habit, good in rock gardens, edgings, borders, and dry shade, tolerates heat, deer, humidity, and drought. Flower spikes resemble grape hyacinth, blooms summer to fall in violet blue, and the size gets 8 to 18 inches tall by 12 inches wide. I think this is going to make, and it's a zone 5 to 10. So really fun, strappy, different texture. And you'll notice that that's what I'm trying to do, is choose many different colors, textures. I think that when you're designing a garden, if you can think about having all of the colors, right, green, red, and yellow, then you're going to end up with a well-balanced garden. Next up are 5 English ivies called Golden Child. And I know that ivy is going to do fabulous in the redwood area because I see it everywhere. And I know it can be invasive, it can take over a space, but here in the Bay Area, it doesn't tend to. And I will manage the space enough that it'll be a great ground cover for the areas that I want it, and I'll keep it out of the others. And I am a sucker for anything variegated. If you see my house plants inside, every single one is variegated. I also got just a couple of these Vinca Minor Evelyn. This is a white flowering variegated Vinca that will have a trailing habit. So I'm actually going to use this Vinca in some pots that I have as a trailer. So this one is excellent ground cover plant, maybe scorches with too much sun, which is perfect. I want this kind of part shade to shade, and it's going to grow 4 to 6 inches tall and 18 to 24 inches wide. So great ground cover or spiller out of a pot. And then I saved the very best for last. I am so excited. There were 3 of these kind of tucked away, hidden at the corner of Lowe's. And that is common Snowball Viburnum. And I know the name says common, but we do not find that out here very often. And unlike a hydrangea, which will be completely devoured by my deer friends, which maybe we'll put a picture of the baby fawn that we had join the family this week. But a viburnum is supposed to be deer resistant. Let's hope they're not lying. Part sun. This is going to get 12 feet by 12 feet, just massive, so I only bought 2. I am thrilled for the show that this is going to give. All right, friends, there you have it. Another spring haul in the bag or in the truck and ready for us to get planting in the redwood forest. I cannot wait to see all of these wonderful things bloom and grow and thrive here. Thank you so much for joining me and watching as I continue to grow my gardens. If you like this video, please consider subscribing, liking, and sharing on your social media. And until next time, I hope you have a joy-filled day.